Hey, what it do? I'm Blue, and here in the year of our Lord 2025, with the Halloween season right around the corner, I wanted to talk a bit about some PS1 games that I think would fit that spooky aesthetic just perfectly, and they're worth a check. Even if one of them is painfully mid, it's worth the check. First off, 40 Winks. 40 Winks feels like a very early 3D Cartoon Network era kind of video game. Graphically, I think it's great. I don't think the PS1 is really showing off too much of that early PS1 jank looking 3D CGI that we'd see in other games. There's one of those in this list later that really holds it back. 40 Winks feels like a perfect Saturday morning cartoon kind of game. It's set up very, very well with a bedtime story aesthetic that kind of fits into that spooky Halloween vibe. The voice acting is pretty well done, especially for the year that the game came out. I could see this fitting very well in a TV show quality. There's two characters to choose from. I played as the boy. And honestly speaking, 40 Winks is pretty well just your run-of-the-mill 3D collectathon. It's not the most groundbreaking game. It's not the greatest game ever made. But it's a good time and it is fun. And to its credit, it's one of those PS1 games that managed to get DualShock control down pat. Naturally, with it being as old as it is, there are still some growing pains in the camera. It can get snagged on things, but it's functional. It works fine. The game controls pretty well, and it's definitely worth the check. The entire point of the game, you go level to level, picking up different upgrades which actually change the look of your characters, collecting moons so that you can use your special abilities, and you collect gears to open doors along the way. You want to collect so many gears to save the Winks. These little fuzzy guys. But you also want to throw hands on the green little fuzzy guys. These guys are hoodwinks and they're jerks. Without giving up anything about the story of 40 Winks, aside from the literal opening, you are two kids that do not want to go to bed and your mother is telling you a bedtime story, and at the same time, this Ebenezer Scrooge looking jerk is having a hard time sleeping, so he decides that if he can't get a good night's rest, no one else in town can either, and he sicks the hoodwinks on the city. The next game is Jersey Devil. I had a demo of this game growing up on a disc that had Tomba, Tekken 3, Blasto, and I want to say Tomb Raider 2. I thought it was mid then. Today I still think it's mid, but it's a perfect game to play if you're looking for that Saturday morning cartoon vibe. It fits it perfectly. The aesthetics are all there. It looks like something straight out of Looney Tunes. Aesthetically, the game is very pleasing, but gameplay wise, it's as mid as it gets. The platforming is stiff. The gliding needs a lot of work. You have the tiniest punch I've ever seen in a video game. But that said, it's still worth the look. If you're wanting to enjoy a game that looks like a cartoon, you can do a lot worse. The third game on this list is technically a Sony game, and therefore had quite a bit more funding in the tank, I'm sure. Also, it is kind of the hardest game to look at on this list, but it's legendary in its own right, and that is Medieval. Medieval actually got a remaster a few years back, and is well worth your time to play, especially if you can't stand the janky jerkiness of the original. It absolutely has a lot of that. The way the original moves could potentially cause some motion sickness, but there's still so much character in it. It's the version I played growing up, and I still think it's worthwhile today, especially since we only have a remastering of the first game. We don't have a remaster of the sequel. This game did get a sequel, and it's well worth your time. The writing is funny. Graphically, it's a little painful, but the writing is funny. The characters are hilarious. People are giving you guff the entire time. You play as Sir Daniel Fortescue, the first in, first out warrior in a war against Zarok. You were shot in the eye and you die on the spot. Somehow, later, you are heralded as the hero of the war, even though you were the literal first to die. And now you have to right that wrong. You have to become the legend that you are apparently fabled to be, because Zarok has come back, and he has turned everyone in town into zombies, and you must stop his evil uprising. Along the way, you will collect new weapons, items. You will talk to the warriors who died in the war against Zarok, who actually fought and died fighting for the cause, unlike you who took 10 steps and hit the dirt instantly. The entire time they're talking down to you because they know the real story, and you are just a living legend who does not live up to the legend. If you're wanting a sick platformer that looks like something ripped straight out of a Tim Burton movie, this is absolutely the one to do it. Play the remaster if you would rather play something that looks much more up to date, but just know that when it comes to playing the sequel, you're gonna have to play the original sequel because we don't have that yet. And as far as we know, we're not getting it. But wouldn't that be nice? Happy Halloween, y'all. Stay happy, healthy, beautiful, kind, and humble. And I hope I catch you on the next one. Peace.